wake up every day and I have to make a decision that I'm going to count my blessings and not my problems. I'm in constant pain.
Rebekah Gregory remembers the horror of the Boston Marathon bombing 13 years ago. She and her son Noah were cheering at the finish line when suddenly explosions erupted just feet away.
I could only move my head. My bones were laying next to me on the sidewalk. I looked down, my left leg was on fire. I was in a pool of my own blood, and all of these nails and ball bearings and BBs and everything these brothers packed into these pressure cooker bombs, including other people's body parts, were not even attached to them anymore. It was a true war scene.
In that moment, her thoughts turned to her 5-year-old son, who'd been playing on the ground seconds before the blast went off.
One of the many blessings in my story was that he was in the arms of a police officer. And so I knew laying there that he was going to be okay. I wasn't sure that I was at the moment, and if I had been on the ground for just a few minutes longer, I would have lost my life on that street.
Both were rushed to a trauma hospital. Noah was spared physical injury, but Rebekah says the trauma left deep emotional scars. The fear never left him.
He didn't want to go back to school. He didn't want to get on his bike. He didn't really want to interact with the world. And he told me when I was being wheeled into the house, he said, "Don't worry, Mom, we're never leaving this house again." And that was the moment that I knew that my son's innocence was stripped away from him.
But Rebekah refused to give up for her and her son. She says she endured 76 surgeries and continued to power through.
No matter how long it took me to be pieced back together, I was going to do it. And so for me, that was a 1.5 years of constant surgery. They were able to save my right leg and they were able to save my left hand. And unfortunately, I was not able to save my left leg. And so they amputated about 18 months after below the knee.
And Rebekah never forgot those who saved her life.
The people that had just finished running 26.2 miles, the first responders, the innocent civilians, and they all rushed to get us off the street and into nearby trauma hospitals. And they're the reason that I can sit and tell my story today.
To honor them, she created Rebekah's Angels, a nonprofit dedicated to helping others facing trauma.
We're just so thankful for the people that have stood beside us and the people that are coming beside us now to believe in our work. This is not something I do for a paycheck. My husband and I started this, and neither one of us take a pay from it, because this is my way to truly give back everything that I've been given.
Rebekah's Angels began funding trauma therapy for children and families, and soon offered even more.
And now we do trauma relief grants where we're able to show up at someone's most vulnerable time, in the hospital, to provide some financial relief or something like that. And we also do our angel missions in our van, just as a way to spread that around our community, hope and love and support.
Years later, Rebekah was hospitalized again, and her nurses asked if she'd help a young woman in crisis.
They came in my room and they said, "Rebekah, now may not be the best time, but we have a young woman down the hall who has just been through a very traumatic car accident and has lost both of her legs, and she could really use someone like you right now."
That young woman, 18-year-old Alexis Gould, says she was going over 75 miles per hour when she crashed her car. She tells me she was intoxicated and remembers almost nothing from that night, except waking up to a new reality.
My ribs broke, my pelvis broke, my sternum broke, and then I kind of just slid out from the seatbelt.
She slid out because the floorboard ripped away. The engine exploded, burning her body, and her legs were caught under the car. Alexis wishes she would have listened to her parents' warnings.
I had a very strong voice in my head saying, you need to stop, that you're gonna die, you're gonna kill yourself somehow. And yeah, I basically almost did.
Now she's grateful because Rebekah's Angels lifted her up, covering medical bills and trauma therapy.
I just have so much gratitude towards Rebekah's Angels. If I didn't have them, I honestly don't think I'd be sitting here today. I really don't. And it's hard to admit that, but without her help, without her organization being right behind me, supporting me through everything, I don't think I'd be here.
Their special bond means everything to Rebekah.
Ready, set.
I'm so proud of her, and that's what Rebekah's Angel stands for. It's not, just giving someone temporary relief. It's really walking alongside them so that we can have moments like this.
This mood, temporary, your power, permanent. I love that.
Rebekah's Angels has changed many lives, and even her van carries messages of hope.
Every person knows what it's like when life blows up in their face. And so if we can be that lifeline for someone, or our van, the back of it says, if you needed a sign to keep going, this is your sign, then we want to do that in any way possible.